Hi guys, and welcome to another Toxic Magyar 501 stream slash cast of Age of Empires 2 DE. So, today we have the Franks and the Huns. So, Chinese name is playing as the Franks. And we have the Huns with Ubiquitous. Now, I think my very first video was with Ubiquitous, so I'm going to have to reach out and let them know that I want to cast more of their games, obviously. Now, at the beginning of the game, we're trying to talk about the civilizations, just to give you a sort of a brief update and to give you some insight into the game as we watch it together. So, first we'll talk about the Franks. So the Franks are a cavalry civilization. The castles cost 25% less stone. Cavalry is 20% hit points starting in the feudal age. Farm upgrades are for free, but you must have the mill. And the foragers work 50% faster. So that means people, villagers collecting from the berry bushes will collect 15% faster, which is very good and does give you a bonus to transition into the feudal age very nicely. Now, we do have some laming going on here. 2 sneaky sheep. So at the beginning of the game, you want to collect all of your sheep resources before your opponent lames them. So sometimes when these guys use their sheep to scout, this is normally quite fine. However, you need to get some cheeky players, and we've just seen this now, where they've had 2 sheeps lamed, and when we say lamed, taken by your opponent and for your use. Okay, so as we spoke about before, 3 villagers on wood scouts. Back to the discussion on the civilization. Throwing axemen are the unique infantry unit in the castle. They have a bonus against other infantry. Their unique tech for the castle: bearded axe, so +1 for throwing axemen. Chivalry makes the stables work 40% faster, and the team bonus is 2 line of sight extra for the knights. Okay. Now, we've got the Huns. So the Huns are a cavalry civilization. They do not need houses, but they start with 100 less wood. The cavalry archers cost 10% less in the Castle Age, because that's where you can first get them, and 20% less in the Imperial Age. They also have a 30% accuracy for their trebuchets, which are not very accurate normally, and that is a significant benefit. The unique unit is a Tarkan. The Tarkan is very similar to a Gothic Huskarl in terms of its resistance to arrow and devastating attack on buildings. However, the Tarkan rides a horse. It is a very good unit. However, you don't see them that often because building castles and producing a unit like that is not always the most effective way to use your resources at a higher level. You also have the unique technologies, Marauders, so you can create the Tarkans at the stables, which obviously then you can spam them out. Again, they're an okay unit, but there are much better units in the game, which is why you don't see them that often. Atheism is 100 years extra for the relic, and then your Wonder Victory. So if you have 200 years plus 100, it makes your relic victories and Wonder Victories quicker. You do not see that on ranked games in Age of Empires, because it is a conquest, so you either beat your opponent into submission, or you destroy all their military buildings. You do not win by building relics, by capturing relics or by building wonders. You also have the enemy relics generate 50% less resources. And that is a very interesting... And that's part of that atheism. So that's a very interesting technology that I was not aware of. Okay, and then your team bonus, you have 20% faster working stables. So against a cavalry civilization, I mean, you're 2 cavalry civilizations, this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Because just because it's a cavalry v cavalry civilization, that doesn't mean we're going to see cavalry v cavalry, right, the whole way through. You know, we could see the horse archers, we could see the Tarkin, we could see the throwing axemen. Like, there are a lot of options. What we do have here is a bit of scouting. So the Franks player wants to know what is going on with the Hun player, and that way, when they are building their attacking units, they can choose the best units to do that. And we have some scouting by Yubi as well. So these are nice big walls. Nice big walls. Back gold. Back goldish, but a very, very forward gold. Then the 2 stones. So you always get 3 golds, 2 stones. Okay. So just seeing a little bit of harassment here. I need to be very careful because, yeah, okay. We do have a defensive spearman. And that's something to always build when you suspect a scout rush from your opponent. No upgrades, and we know this for 2 reasons. 1, no blacksmith. No blacksmith. But when we click on it, we can see 5 plus 0, 2 plus 0. These are base statistics for these units. Okay. Now we've got a very interesting situation here, because if this guy, Yubi, can build up his walls and keep this marauders out, he is going to be in a really, really good position. The Franks player is investing a lot of resources into the feudal age, and Yubi really doesn't need to, and in fact shouldn't even try to match the Frank scouts, because they're inferior. What he should focus on doing now that he's walled up is keeping his economy ticking over, and then transition into the castle age. Whilst his opponent is spending more resources. And yeah, he should just run them around the map and save himself some time, buy himself some time rather, so that he can get to the castle age. So there's a cheeky archer in there. Now, we have a lot of scouts. A lot of scouts on this Franks player. Concerning that he is open. So we might even see a villager die here. He's really focusing on killing this villager. And he does. It's a really good result for Ubi. So even though he doesn't have anywhere near the amount of military on the board, because the Frank player has... And they're just taking an engagement on the hill here. So hills give you an advantage. However, spearmen are still not good to fight against your scouts. So he's going to lose all of them here. And he's not going to have any military on the field. Now, you've got these archers running quickly away, because you don't want Ubi to see that he's got archers coming, okay? So it's very sneaky and very clever to obviously drop them out and then quickly run them away to prevent them from being seen. So we can clearly see that Ubi has not seen that archer, because if he had have, the solution would be to drop a archery range and build a skirmishers. And as the Huns player, the archery range would still be utilized, as you know, that's what they're going to be using possibly into the castle age. So we do have enough resources for Ubi, but he has realized that he does not have a blacksmith, which is an extra building that you need. So you always need 2 feudal age buildings to go to the next stage, and he obviously didn't have that, and now he has clicked to the castle age. So because the Frank player has committed a lot of resources into the feudal age, we are still quite some time before the Chinese name player is going to be able to click to the castle age. But what he is doing is securing his base. So these 2 archers here are making it extremely difficult, because you can't build with these guys attacking you, okay? So what they've done is he's managed to... Well, he's had to spend an extra resource to build an additional archery range, and then now he's forced them away. So if these archers had stayed here, they would deny these buildings for a little bit extra, which is fantastic for them, because you want to deny them as long as possible so that you can't build military units, okay? And that is the skirmisher we spoke about, who will just keep the archers away now. However, if this Frank player gets in here, that would have been catastrophic. Has he noticed the stable being attacked? An additional blacksmith. Okay. Okay, so these scouts are broken in. They need to pop this hole. It's a very, very bad situation for Ubi to be in now, because they've killed quite a few villagers. We've had to move all of these guys from the woodline, and now we're idling farms. Now we're going to kill more villagers on their gold. This is really, really bad. Oh my goodness, what a fantastic quick wall. Ah man, when you fucking get these guys like this when they step on the walls, man. That is really triggering. That really pisses people off with that poor pathing. So we've lost 2. We're gonna do 3, 4. That there has really made it difficult for UB to stay in this game and be competitive. And we have an overchop here as well. So I suppose a very good side of the attacking here. We have cleaned up the Franks players' army. However, it has come at quite a price. Although we're looking at K2 deaths, we killed a lot of military, we lost a lot of eco, right? So we've got a couple of knights on the board. Oh man. Oh. This is bad. This is so bad. More knights flooding it. This man. Tilted. I could almost hear UB screaming right now because this game is being played well. The defensive walls, you know, the build up. One little freaking mess there on the gold, and this game really got ruined. Anyway, playing on. We do have good archer numbers here, right? So we do have good cavalry archer unit numbers. So these knights are susceptible until they can get a few more numbers out. So we're 10 villages behind. So it's not too far just yet, but we need to make sure that that UB keeps that in check and just keeps the TC ticking over. And we have a shift Q on this TC. So one thing to guys when you're playing is this TC has 3, this TC has 1, right? Now it has none, and this one still is queuing, and it's still got 3. You really need, balance it, so shift Q, shift, or group them, sorry, so control 1 or control whatever you put control group, and then when you queue them, shift queue them, whatever, it'll even it out. So you'll get a nice constant supply of villages coming out consistently there. Okay. Wow. So this is a sneaky play. So these guys are in the correct place. These knights, this villager needs to get over here quickly. Okay. Good. And we've just watched a couple of shots being missed there. So you'd think, oh, okay, well, why are we missing? Ah, okay, inaccuracy, throw down a university, and we're going to get ballistics, right? And that's really going to help these archers to slay these knights. So with the third TC, we really need to see UB get these numbers up. We need to get these numbers up. We've got 3 of these archery ranges, and we have nothing building. This is not good enough. Not good enough at all. I understand we're out of the res there, because look at this Franks player. $22 knights. $23 knights. So if we could get a couple of archers in here to this little area, and we're getting the leather armor as well. Excellent. So once you get to this late castle, palisade walls are completely useless now. It's good in the beginning when you're getting your economy secured and built up, but now you need to just pump out the army and put the forward pressure. Because these knight numbers are becoming scary now. And we have some monks on the field. So are we going to see relics playing? Are we going to see the knights being healed? Probably both, right? So do you have another TC going down for UB? Don't want to be caught clumped. So one of the things with archers is they clump together, and things like scorpions pierce ranks, so they do damage all the way through. It's terrible. Now the Ethiopians they have torsion engines, and their scorpions do also penetrate all the way through. Scorpions are a very, very powerful unit against archers. And infantry, for the same reason. They shoot a flat projectile. So with the correct amount of micro here, there are enough horse archers to focus fire down knights with one shots. But they need to be controlled properly. Oof, big shot from the mangonel there. Big scorpion shots. The knight numbers are dwindling. And we're just watching the cavalry archers build up in their number. So we're at 50 cav archers. If this is denied, This is very good pressure from the Frank player. Now we did see that the Huns player was preparing Imp. While we're watching this battle here, they have clicked to Imp. So Yubi's on his way to Imperial Age with 50 Cav Archers. 50! Now, the Franks player needs to balance their economy, right? He has enough resources now. But when you're attacking and you're under pressure, you're not really thinking. This castle here is in full view of 50 Cav Archers. These Cav Archers can take everything. Okay? If they get that castle now, then it's gonna be very, very difficult for the Frank player. But he's getting the heavy Cav upgrade, or the heavy Cav Archer upgrade. And when that comes in, that's a real bonus for these cavalry archers. This is one of the, probably one of the worst castles I have seen lately. This game is a much higher quality than this castle. This castle, if anything, should be here. If you want to put it somewhere defensively, it goes there to protect your farms and your stone. This is protecting some farms. Barely. Your important resources here are being raided to the hell. And in 20 seconds, oh, these raids. So the Frank player is doing a fantastic job of taking these archers away and causing massive disruptions like this. You need 3 trebs to destroy a TC comfortably. But in the back here, this wood line, once he gets this secure, but this is, oh my gosh. We've got the attack upgrades coming for the Cavaliers. Like, these Cavaliers are doing nothing. Nothing at all. These archers are doing nothing at all. These knights are killing fucking everything, man. Everything. But what a good game. This has been a really good game. The raids coming in from everywhere. Cavaliers are an excellent unit. Probably want a castle. Even better would be here. We have enough for a castle. This is finished. This is finished. Even maybe a forward castle here and take back these resources. Almost 60 cav archers. You really want to kill these cavs before the... Although, I mean, he doesn't have the gold, but you don't... He doesn't... Yubi doesn't know this. He really, really, really wants to kill these... Kill these cavs, man. Come on. Don't let these things just shoot everywhere. Focus fire. That's good, that's good. And then just get this castle, guys. Just build a castle. What we actually need to see is some more production buildings. So the Frank player has the map control. A lot of idle villas. Wow. Wow. And the Frank player calls it. GG's. Fantastic. Fantastic. And this castle. Okay. Well, guys, thanks very much for watching. And we look forward to seeing you in another episode. Ciao for now. Magyar out.